today I'm reviewing the Cover FX Gripping and Firming Primer. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money. So if you want to help keep the channel independent, check out my products at nobsbeauty.com or click on the Amazon link below. So Cover FX recently released a series of new primers as well as booster drops, antioxidant drops, SPF drops, mattifying drops. So I wanted to buy all of them, but obviously since I pick everything up with my own money, I couldn't afford to. But the gripping primer really appealed to me, especially with spring and summer coming here in the U.S. Things get hot. In Minnesota, it's hot and humid. It's really, really cold in the winter, and it's really, really hot and humid in the summer. So a gripping primer is certainly something you need if it's going to be 90 and 100% humidity. So I thought I'd pick it up, and also since recently there's been a few new primers coming out with this theme, so I thought I'd review this and also kind of compare it to a few other ones. So stay tuned for that in a few minutes. But anyway, so I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it based on the Sarah Score scale. And my first criteria is packaging, and they've done a nice job packaging this simply in a squeeze tube, which is rather easy, especially since with this product, a little bit is all you need. So the bottle may look a little small, but this bottle will last you quite a while. So the squeeze tube bottle is very nice. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain any denatured alcohol, which is always a good thing. My third criteria is fragrance, and this is fragrance-free. Cover FX usually does a very good job of weeding out certain ingredients. However, I can't remember which booster drop it was, but I saw a few ingredients that I'm like, Cover FX usually wouldn't use that. So I'll have to look and double check. But anyway, so this one's good though. So in terms of alcohol and fragrance, it's good. My fourth criteria is the manufacturing location, and this is made in the US, so no issues with that. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and so for gripping primers, you want to just apply a little bit of the product onto the tips of your fingers and then pat it over your face. And you might want to re-add a few. I usually do my forehead first. I'll add a little bit, maybe a couple more drops, and then I'll apply it to my one side of the face, add a few more, and then apply it to the other side of my face. So really it takes about a minute to apply fully all over your entire face, and you just want to pat it, and then once you notice you're out of the product, apply a little bit more. I usually I don't know, how would I say that? Add a little bit more to the tips of my fingers twice during the process, like I explained, and then just make sure you pat and get your entire face. So it's not hard to use. It just takes a little bit of time, more so than the average primer. You just smooth over and then continue on. It just takes a little bit finesse. But once you pat it over your skin, your face will be covered with it. And then I usually wait another 30 seconds or so before applying my foundation over it. So, but otherwise very easy to use. It leaves a very nice canvas. You want to apply this after moisturizer, but before foundation. And this is the only place where it gets to be a little tricky, is figuring in SPF. Personally, I use this on days when I'm going to use a foundation that contains SPF, because it becomes a little bit of a gray zone where you apply your sunscreen with this product. Your sunscreen really should be the last product you use on your skin to get the most out of it. So if you apply your sunscreen first and then apply a serum and a moisturizer and a foundation, the sunscreen becomes diluted by all those layers. So with this, though, you don't want to apply a sunscreen directly over it and then a foundation. Although I guess you could, it just doesn't give you as much wear time with the foundation since you're applying the sunscreen over this. So I guess the best way, if you don't use a foundation that contains sunscreen, would be to apply your serum, a moisturizer if you use one, sunscreen, and then this primer, and then foundation. But then you've got 2 layers on top of the sunscreen, so it's not going to be as effective. So that's kind of the rub with this product, and products similar to it, is where do you apply your sunscreen. So when I use this, I usually use the Dr. Jart Beauty Balm, which has an SPF of 45, or what other foundations? I've got several foundations that have sunscreen in them. So on days when I use this, that's what I go with. I use this foundation with sunscreen. And especially since on days I use this, I'm going to be hot, or it's going to be hot outside, or it's going to be humid. So using a foundation with SPF is usually a good idea anyway. Or you can always use this, apply a foundation, and then apply a powder that contains SPF in it. But you have to make sure to apply that powder liberally so you get good protection. So that's kind of the rub with it. But it's not unique to this gripping primer. It's the same issue with all of them. So overall, though, it's very easy to use. So I'm not going to knock them at all for that issue. It's more of a personal issue, and I guess just find a good foundation that contains sunscreen and you won't have any issues with it. So my 6th criteria is antioxidants, and it's got a few. It doesn't have a long ingredient list, which makes it ideal for sensitive skin types. Lecithins in there, kelp extract, and algae extract. So it's got a few. I might have liked to see 1 or 2 more, perhaps, but it does have a short ingredient list. So if you're looking for a gripping primer that contains a lot of other antioxidants and beneficial ingredients, and you don't have sensitive skin, a good one is the J1 jelly pack. They've got a white jelly pack, the red jelly pack. This one's my favorite. And then their black jelly pack, which is also can double as a mask. This has a lot of good beneficial ingredients and antioxidants. It also has a small amount of fragrance, which does dissipate very quickly. But if you have sensitive skin, I would still recommend the Cover FX. The J1 red jelly pack is great if you don't have sensitive skin and are looking for more beneficial ingredients. And the gripping, in terms of the primer aspect of it, it works the same. It works amazing as well. And then the new one that came out, a lot of people asked me to compare, was the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which has a lot of fragrance as well as denatured alcohol in it. So if you have sensitive skin, I'm going to recommend the Cover FX. If you have aging skin but not sensitive, the J1 Jelly Pack is great as well. The Milk one, I really wouldn't recommend to anyone except for perhaps if you find it works better for some reason. I found that all 3 of them worked great. They all did a good job. The Milk one just has a lot of denatured alcohol and fragrance, so if you have sensitive skin, definitely go with Cover FX. But this one I would just recommend on special occasions if you find it works better. I didn't find any one of these to work better or worse than the next. They all worked pretty well the same. So I just thought I would point that out, though, in case you're looking for something a little different. The red one has a lot of good beneficial ingredients in it. And the Milk, sadly, too much alcohol, too much fragrance. So anyway, so on to my 7th criteria, which is animal testing. And the Cover FX brand is cruelty-free, which we love. My 8th criteria is performance. And it does a nice job. It certainly helps prevent skin from getting overly oily. It extends makeup wear, foundation wear by 4 to 5 hours at least. Provides a nice canvas for foundation, makes it very easy to apply the foundation. It also helps prevent the foundation from transferring a lot. So it really just grips it onto your face and doesn't allow it to really go anywhere, which is nice. And certainly helps prevent it from getting overly oily and things like that. So it performs very nicely, which is good. My 9th criteria, which is the price. The retail price is $38 for the bottle, which is 1 ounce. However, a little bit goes a long way. So a bottle this size will last you a long time. I'm trying to think what size. This is 1.69 ounces, but I've gotten lots of use out of this one bottle. So, and the fact that it's packaged in a nice packaging prevents it from drying out or becoming unusable right away. So I would expect with daily use, a bottle this size would last 3 to 4 months, I want to say. So the price isn't really as expensive as you think it is initially. So, and then my 10th criteria, which is the it factor. I would have liked to see a little bit more antioxidants or perhaps a gripping primer with SPF in it, but the way gripping primers are applied, they're not really applied super liberally, so it wouldn't give you as much protection. But definitely works to extend makeup wear, prevent transfer. It's a much more skin-friendly version of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and it works well. Yeah, so with the exception of a few more antioxidants in here. This product did pretty well. It did a 9 out of 10, which is still pretty darn good overall. So if you have sensitive skin, this is a good one to check out if you're looking for a good gripping primer. So I'm interested if you guys have a chance to check this out yet or not, and if you have, what your thoughts are. So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Or if you've tried any of the other new Cover FX primers out, which one have you tried and how have you liked it? So I know they've got their mattifying one, their water cloud one, their gripping one. I think they've got one with sunscreen in it. So I don't know. Cover FX usually does a pretty good job. So anyway, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Check out nobsbeauty.com and the Amazon link below. And thank you guys so much.